I hit go live. I did the thing, Austin. I figured it out. I'm a smart cookie. I did the thing.
You pressed the button. You did the thing, and now we're here with the bip and the bop and the. Oh wait, run, shut my bad. Oh, what's up, dude? What's it?
Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing?
Well, hey, man. I'm just dandy. How are you?
Oh, I can't complain. We're just kind of getting rid. Oh shit, we hit go live. I guess we should probably get this show on the road, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
or just leave it like this.
Well, I don't know.
Gotta do to get comics around this place. One side, Red.
Hey, what the hell's going on here?
I was warned about you. Take it easy before I have you removed from the
Warned? What the fuck are you talking about?
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Fuck you, fanboy.
You two testosterone-seething He-Man comic book fans finish up with this display of tough guy back and forth. I got some questions I need answered.
Look, who's in there?
You gotta ask me nicely.
Fuck.
Brody, get the hell off.
Come on, you fuckers think that just because a guy reads comics he can't start some shit? I'll fucking take all you want.
It's so true, and it's so true.
It's the truest thing. It's the truest thing.
Hey, we can start some shit, dude. We do not screw with us, man. Like, just because they're standing reading a book for about 25 minutes straight with a half chub does not mean we will knock you the out. All right, now I'm kidding.
You think since some guys read some comics, you can't start some shit? No, we do. We absolutely do.
Clerks 3, man.
I wish.
Come in.
I freaking wish we were in Clerks 3.
That'd be so fun.
Love Kevin Smith.
Right. Thank you, Kevin Smith, for all that you've shown me. Matter of fact, the first book I ever owned was from Kevin Smith.
Really?
Yes.
I just love his. I mean, I love people who have like a lot of passion and enthusiasm, like for a subject, and his passion for comics and comic book characters is just, I love it.
It's unmitigated for sure. It's what I aspire to be like as far as fandom is concerned. Just genuine love.
Exactly.
Everything. Try not to be too critical. Oh, hey, we're live. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the late night poll. With me and Austin. Yeah, you all know who we are by now. Mr. Unfiltered, Mr. Little Big City. Y'all know the drill. Welcome back.
That's right. That's
Look
right.
who's on time. Look who's finally on time.
I'm here. I am here.
You are here.
Yes.
No, that was funny because the second episode, Dawson and I were getting ready to go, and we're like, "Where the fuck is Austin?" And he pops up like 30 minutes into this. Oh, hey, buddy, how's it going?
Just casually, it's fashionably late. Being fashionably late. So
yeah.
Or it's just my internet went out. So thank you, Cox. But yeah, man. How's your week been? I know there's been some fun new releases. So there's definitely lots to talk about.
It's been a very, very busy week. Definitely, it is. Been superbly busy, so much so that I had to siphon through my stack not even 20 minutes before you and I got live, and so I'm so brain dead it's not even funny. I won't even have any time to real time to myself until like Sunday. But thankfully, next week's a short week because of Thanksgiving.
Yep, exactly. Thanksgiving's coming. That's gonna be nice to have some downtime, eat some turkey. You know what? I'm gonna probably do that day. Probably gonna read some comics.
Yeah, I might do the same thing.
Time to sit down and read some comics.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully.
But I saw an interesting bit of news this week because I know you're reading and keeping up with Son of Kal-El.
Mm-hmm.
They are teaming up, Son of Kal-El and Nightwing in February, man.
Yep, I saw that. I did see that. That's very exciting. I cannot wait to see that crossover. I mean, come on, Tom Taylor was not gonna do that. Hell yeah, he was. If I was him, I'd do the same thing. You kidding?
And I love Bruno's art, man.
Bruno
Bruno,
Redondo.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that art. So I really look forward to that's gonna be a beautiful looking comic book.
Yeah, that crossover book between Nightwing and Son of Kal-El is going to be the sauce. I'm exquisitely looking forward to that. Truthfully, I am. I cannot wait to see that book. I can't wait to have it in my hands. But February is a long way away. So, I guess not so much.
Right.
But speaking of being thankful, given the Thanksgiving season, we are thankful to be part of the Four Nerds Network. We are happy to be friends and chums with our pals Dawson, Andre, Ryan, Anthony. Thank you guys so much again for the opportunity here. As you guys all know, give a like and subscribe to the Four Nerds Network, ACS Universe, Zeverfet, Nicotina Show, and of course, Nerd in Many Ways, the man himself, Dawson Weidrich, who could not be here tonight because he has to work tomorrow morning. So much love, buddy. Wish you could be here, but that was a slick ass Mad Hatter you drew there. That was saucy sauce, as we like to say on this show. Speaking of which, who we got here in the chat? We got TW McKay. What's good, boys? Doing a rewatch of Incredible Hulk with my dad. Good movie.
Oh, very nice. The Incredible Hulk is. I enjoyed that. I long said that I enjoyed Edward Norton a little bit more than
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
So that was actually the first movie in the MCU I watched in a theater. That was I did not catch Iron Man. That is the only MCU movie to this day that I have not seen in the theater.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
First time. Wow.
The very first Iron Man. Yep.
Okay.
So my MCU stuff started with Incredible Hulk, and then from there it was. I didn't actually see Iron Man until that Thanksgiving of that year, so it would have been 2008 is when I watched it.
I think the first one I got to was, I think Iron Man 2 was the first one that my mom took me to see in theaters and stuff, and then from that point on I saw everything.
Yeah, I was in San Jose. Me and my little brother were doing some work, and it was either work or we were like hanging out for like the tail end of the weekend. I don't really remember, but we had the choice in June to see The Incredible Hulk and one other flick. I don't remember. It might have actually been Iron Man, and I let my brother decide because my brother was like, "Fuck Iron Man, I want to watch Incredible Hulk." I was like, all right, cool. And I had vivid memories walking into that one of just kind of feeling a little bit like about Ang Lee's Hulk at that, because I had seen Ang Lee's Hulk when I was younger, like little when that movie came out. Well, not little, but I was old enough. But by the time Incredible Hulk rolled around, I was about 16, and I was a month away from The Dark Knight. I was really looking forward to that. But that was probably when I really started getting into superhero movies, more so after seeing like Spider-Man and X-Men, in my younger years. Yep. But I remember just really enjoying The Incredible Hulk a lot and really digging what went on in that film and seeing what the Hulk was, in my opinion, I always thought that was like at the time. Prime Hulk. It's prime Hulk.
Yeah, and I just love what, someone like Edward, I love what he wanted to do with the character. I love what they showed. They show you the actual struggles of being the Hulk. What happens when you start to get it on with someone, and things get a little. It comes with all of these issues that the MCU definitely hasn't addressed. So
yeah,
fits.
What's funny is like that film ended with the post-credit sequence of Thunderbolt Ross and Stark. And that was when I was like, oh, hey, look at that, Iron Man. Like, it didn't even occur to me that, that would one day blossom into some other shit, right?
They connect, yep.
Right.
Yep. I think it just didn't think it would. Did you think it happened so soon? It's their first movie. They just started.
Right. So then when I watched Iron Man and they had the little Nick Fury bit at the end, it was like, oh, well, hey, they're just kind of building some shit, aren't they?
Right.
Right. Oh, look who TWK. I saw Iron Man in theaters. That's good watch, in my opinion. Like, I haven't seen it in theaters, but I'd imagine that movie on a big screen would be immaculate. We got Anthony Beltray here. Well, Edward should have shut his mouth in Universal if you really want to stay in the MCU. And also, hello to you, Anthony Beltray. I hope you're having a good night, my friend.
Always good to see Anthony in the chat.
It is, isn't it? But Norton, that is kind of an unfortunate situation there where he kind of, him and Marvel didn't exactly play nice by the end of that first movie. So
Right.
Marvel kind of kicked him to the curb and got Mark Ruffalo. So here we
Play
are.
by the rules at Marvel, man. Play by the rules.
I think the Incredible Hulk is the only one of the main cast I think that's been recast. I think.
Well, that and Rhodey.
You got me there. Yep.
Rhodey.
I feel terrible. I forgot Don Cheadle.
Was Don Cheadle was brought in.
Shame on me.
How
dare I? Because he's clearly the better War Machine. Sorry, Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Everything's all entirely subjective. But holy shit, man! As far as comics are concerned, here's a fun story. I don't know if anyone knows this, but Diamond got hacked.
Right, you were telling me.
I was telling you about this. And Diamond got hacked. They're a large distributor of a lot of books, i.e., like Marvel, Boom, Aftershock, a couple other books, right? And they got hacked. So our books, like our Marvel stuff, like a lot of our Marvel stuff and a lot of the other independent stuff, didn't come until Wednesday. So
that's fun.
Oh, it was. According to my boss, it was just not the biz.
For those who don't know, Wednesday is comic day.
For Marvel now, because DC's new comics days come out on Tuesdays. Yep. Marvel is Wednesday. So our shit came that day.
So you got to put it out the day of.
Well, I didn't. I'm only a part-timer. I can't really talk too much to it. But, just in that event, in the event that happens, it just sucks because, well, you can't fill savers. You can't, put books out on the wall. It's just like a damn it kind of feeling,
Right.
But luckily, they came and we did get our Marvel books. And I'm actually really impressed with the little bit of Marvel that I have in my stack. But because I've been super, super busy with both jobs and amongst other things, I am still even just behind my own reading.
Dude, and same. And now here's the thing. I think I said last week, I got that Comixology app thing, which is really great. I love it. But I have to. Sometimes I'll find the issues, and sometimes they don't have the issue, right? It's the whole book, the whole volume or whatever. And so I've started reading a lot of volumes. So it's kind of interesting. I'm probably reading like 4 different volumes. What was fun is I found a couple Marvel things too. So that's I'm trying to branch out of my DC. As much as I love DC and I think DC's great and they're doing great stuff right now, I want to cleanse my palate with some different stuff.
I think after reading a lot of comics for over the last 10 years, just, both graphic novels and single issues, I've seen like DC kind of hit a high. I've seen Marvel hit some highs over the last few years. Like if they didn't hit the highs that they did in the last 10 years, then they wouldn't have material to use now in the live action form. I mean, look at Wonder Woman. She's the icon she is, and a lot of the stuff that they've even produced with Gal Gadot is largely inspired by more modern stuff. And I would even also say with the MCU now, they're about to set up Lady Thor. They're about to, give Sam Wilson as Captain America his own movie. Those things happen literally in the last 10 years.
A lot of things happen that they're taking from, like you said, very recent comics and stuff like that. You think, because I think that, I know they're getting rid of Danny Rand in the comics, making a new Iron Fist.
They're creating a new Iron Fist. That much I do know about. I don't know about getting rid of Danny Rand, but I know for sure that a new Iron Fist is happening. Anthony Beltray. I haven't bought a Marvel comic since 2009.
Hey,
that's
man,
fair. You do you, bud.
I will say the ones that pique I haven't gotten to read it yet, but I tend to follow certain writers.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Taylor is writing the Dark Ages, for Marvel right now. That's a big. I think when that was announced, I think I said like that's going to be probably the first Marvel comic I've read in several years.
Yeah, I can't lie. I can wholeheartedly agree to that too. And hey, look, hey Katsuka, how you doing?
There he is. What's up, man?
for me, it's the same exact thing. Once he announced that he was doing Dark Ages, I was like, "Hi."
Yep, exactly.
It was done. It was a done deal. But then, in between Dark Ages, and unfortunately, it's only a 5-issue miniseries. But right after Loki came out, they launched a Kang book, and I'm on 4 of 5, right? But it's essentially a story about young Nathaniel Richards getting plucked from the 31st century by a former time version of himself to become the best version of himself. It's basically kind of like Kang meets the One, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So
Wow.
it takes him on a story through time, and so far he's been through ancient Egypt, he's been to the future, he's met Apocalypse. It is freaking awesome. Like, when it comes to Marvel, there are very few characters that really, and I mean really tickle my fancy. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man to death. I have amazing 78-point Bay in my poll because it ties into the current story. But I also really like Wolverine. I like the Incredible Hulk, but I think I've got more comics about Wolverine and the X-Men than I do about the Incredible Hulk, funny enough. And
yeah, I was a Wolverine guy. I actually had some like Old Man Logan comics and some. I had some. There was a comic where he hunts down Mystique. It's like a pretty brutal, like full on. I think he almost kills her in the comics. Whatever.
I think Tom Taylor did a run on Wolverine too, and it was X-23 as Wolverine, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Tom Taylor, man. He just did a Boba Fett comic for Star Wars. I'm like, bro, I gotta get that now.
You know, you mentioned that. That is actually the graphic novel pick of the week. Star Wars Boba Fett Blood Ties, everybody, by Mr. Tom Taylor. And let's see, there's a couple other writers. Let's see.
Sick.
Collection Star Wars Blood Ties 1 through 4. Star Wars Blood Ties, Boba Fett is Dead. Star Wars Empire number 7, number 28. Star Wars Boba Fett 1/2, Star Wars Boba Fett Twin Engines of Destruction, Star Wars Boba Fett Agent of Doom, and material from Star Wars number 7, written by Tom Taylor, John Wagner, Ron Mars, Annie Magels, John Ostrander.
That's a recognizable name for some comic fans out there.
Bo Smith, and then illustrated by Chris Scalf, Cam Kennedy, Adriana Melo, Carlos Esquera, John Nadeau, and Mike Diodardo Jr. Frick me, this book is this might just climb to the top of the graphic novel stack. It might just get in front of Road to No Man's Land. Who knows?
That's a saucy book right there, man. Again, Tom Taylor, Boba Fett, Tom Taylor. Look again. I love all of these comic worlds a lot, very, very much.
We stand that book on this channel.
Just
Dark Knights of Steel.
Oh,
beautiful.
I got through the first issue and it's fire. And I love there's some great. I really don't want to spoil anything, but there's some great reworkings of the origins that Tom Taylor does.
Indubitably. I'll co-sign on that. I'll co-sign to that. 100%.
Yeah. But I started reading an interesting volume in honor of a very popular trailer that dropped this week, Spider-Man. I started reading the Amazing Spider-Man run by Nick Spencer.
Okay.
Exactly. And, so it's called Back to Basics.
Yeah.
The volume is called. It's fun, man. That's the Spider-Man that I remember. He's taking on Rhino. He's taking on, he's out of high school, which is the comic. That's the Spidey I love. But that's been a fun. Oh, Katsuka, have you been under a rock?
There's indeed a new Spider-Man trailer.
There's a new Spider-Man trailer.
I have not read the Amazing Spider-Man 78-point Bay. That's actually the story that picks up after Spencer's run. So it's written by a storyboard group of people, and after they do the whole Kindred stuff that I don't know if you're aware of, but essentially what happens is Peter Parker runs into Ben Reilly, his clone, And Ben Reilly kind of asks him like, "Hey, is it all right if I be Spider-Man?" And Peter's like, "What? No, I'm Spider-Man." And Ben Reilly's like, "Tough shit, I'm gonna be Spider-Man too."
Yeah.
And then Peter's like,
Oh.
"Huh?" So Ben Reilly totally gets his own costume again. He is funded and completely taken care of by something called the Beyond Corporation. They completely handle his suit, and it kind of doesn't necessarily make him indestructible. It makes him pretty invulnerable to a lot of different things, and that's kind of how the story kicks off. Is because him and Peter and Ben wind up at a crime scene with like this group of gang villains, whatever, and they hit both of them with like this super toxic, wasteful like gas or I don't really remember what it might have been gas, but essentially what happens is Ben stays okay because his suit keeps his body safe from all the damage and radiation and evil toxicity that this gas produces. However, Peter Parker's suit was not that in any capacity. He's just wearing regular ass Spidey suit, right? So
Right.
Peter winds up slipping in a freaking coma, and Ben Reilly is now Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yep.
That's right. And there's I'm honestly, I'm probably gonna read that next because my friend has a theory that we may be seeing Ben Reilly in the MCU.
Dude, there are rumors swirling that Miles Morales is getting a solo film, and I'm like, the timing of that news coming out after that movie, I wonder what could possibly happen.
Dude, my friend came up with the greatest theories that Andrew is brought into the MCU as Ben Reilly.
Oh shit. I don't know about that.
Ooh, wait, and then he turns into the Scarlet Spider.
I don't know. That's a little too. I'm not going to say complex, but that's a pretty big pill for
it will never happen
for people to swallow.
My God, I would love for that to happen.
Well, the only reason I don't really see that happening is because I feel like by the time Tom, if these two other Spider-Men are in this movie, obviously Toby looks a lot older now, and as does Andrew. And I feel like if they were brought into the MCU as their respective versions of Spider-Man, they'd probably be older. But if they were brought in as different characters, that's a toss-up. As for Ben Reilly, that's an even harder toss-up because he's essentially a clone of Peter Parker. So if you're going to clone Parker outright and it's Tom Holland's Peter Parker or it's Tom Holland's Peter Parker, then I would probably try and get an actor who's kind of like Tom Holland visually to do so.
Yeah, I agree.
But I like the idea of Andrew Garfield coming in and being somebody else, because obviously that makes me think of the old rumor that, before, this whole Spider-Man multiverse shenanigans was going down, people were like, Tobey Maguire would be a great Uncle Ben in the MCU. And I'm like, yes, 100%. You know who should be Harry Osborn? Andrew Garfield.
Oh.
I'm totally kidding.
This is better than Dainty Home.
I wanted Andrew Garfield to be the Joker, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, that'd be pretty wild.
Right? Like, he'd be the perfect Joker opposite Robert Pattinson, but I feel like it's going to be somebody else.
Yeah, with his hair, too, like, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
It's all, like, kind of flared up in the back, and he's got it styled, and he's got a wicked grin, dude. He knocked it out of the park as the Joker.
Wow.
His smile is just charming.
And
terrifying all at once.
That never crossed my mind. Wow, I agree. That's some good fan casting. Andrew Garfield as the Joker.
I try.
I like that.
I try.
So that's so that's what's the name of that Spider-Man run again?
It's The Amazing Spider-Man, and it picks up with issue 76, but that's legacy number 780 some shit. I don't effing remember.
Right, yeah.
It's in that box there. But the current numbering they have for it starts at 76.
Okay.
The Beyond storyline, I think, is what they're calling it. But yeah, I really enjoy that book quite a bit. I think the next one is supposed to come out next week because it's a weekly or bi-weekly book. I don't remember which.
Okay. Very cool. I like that. For me, what I have, this is one that I've been wanting to read for a while. I'm only on issue 1, but man, do I love it so far. The art is super, super sick. And that is Batman the World, which is done by all of those several different artists. And
The multi-artist book, yeah.
wow. I'm only on issue 1, but wow, man. They of course redo Bruce's origin very briefly, but very beautifully, and just I'm a big fan of the different styles of art and stuff, and kind of flipping through it and looking at what's to come. I'm like, this is cool, man. This is like Star Wars Visions in a comic for Batman, made for me.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I could definitely get that feeling from that book.
Yeah. So I really love it so far. The art so far in issue, I don't know if the first issue is by, actually. Let me do that so I can properly give them credit. Let's see, issue 1. Oh, thank you. It doesn't say. That's just
Spectacular.
That's just wonderful.
That's just wonderful.
It literally just says the special edition Batman Day. Doesn't even say which one. That's great. But it's really good. It's really good. It's a bunch of different artists. It's literally done from artists from France, Germany, Asia. It's so stinking cool. So reading that and very much.
I feel like that might be Lemire, but I could be wrong about that.
Let me see if I can back it up. It's just cool seeing like the first issue has a lot of villain callbacks and villain flashbacks. You see Penguin, you see Bane, you see Man-Bat, which is really cool. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so far.
You mentioned Batman the World, and I picked up a lot of Robin books, like just a couple single issues and a couple other things that I had just gotten over time. And it made me think, like, when you pick up stuff like that, you can't help but just like not. And I got just these Robin covers, like Robin 16, because it's got him in spoiler, like OG spoiler from the 90s. Then you've got Robin 15 with him using one of the signature paragliders.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And then this one I got because it's an alternate suit and he's in the snow. And I've never seen this before until very recently.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
And for the record, this is Tim Drake.
That looks like Aquaman a little bit.
Just a tad, right? And then this one I had to get it because this cover just kills me. Superboy. Ooh. My son is dead because of you.
Oh my God.
It's Martha Kent, and it says my son Clark is dead, and it's all your fault, Superboy. This is Superboy number 8. And she's just slapping the shit out of him.
Well, that's a cover.
I had to get it because of the cover. Had to. And then I also got, because it's written by James Tynion IV and not Scott Lobdell, Red Hood and the Outlaws number 22.
Ooh, very cool. Yeah, very cool. Now that one I haven't read any. I don't know too much about what they've done with Red Hood and the Outlaws, but
and then this one,
that's probably one of the next things I want to start.
This is by and far my favorite cover of Tim Drake ever. That's issue 150.
Wow.
Where he's in the red black.
Yeah.
I think this is the first appearance of that.
Very cool.
And then I don't know if I showed this off last show, but I might. No, I think I got this year. This past week. Wow. Year. Brain fart. Yep. Batman Detective Comics number 625, and I got it because it's Marv Wolfman and Jim Aparo. And that cover is just freaking sweet.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
Ooh is correct.
That looks like that Batman the Animated Series that Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm did. Oh. Much cool.
Here we go. Okay, Raid up in this house. What's up, bud?
Hey, what's up, Kaden?
Yeah, so there's Batman 625, and very much giving off the Batman vibes. And then lastly, I picked this up because, well, I just really love the cover. A lot of the older books I get is largely because of some of the covers, but this one I could not pass up. Marvel Team Up number 16, Spider-Man and Captain Marvel.
Oh, wow.
Like OG Captain Marvel.
Oh. Oh
There we go.
wow. Okay. How's that? That's
I
an
haven't
interesting.
cracked it open. Yeah, it's an older book, so I'm really afraid to crack it open.
That's an
So
interesting team up.
it is.
Cosmic and friendly neighborhood.
Exactly.
Very,
That's kind of where I was going with it too.
very Infinity War.
Ish.
Right. Well, my next one is a fun one. Is in
How
honor
far are we talking here? How
of
fun?
the we're talking fun, man. We're talking out there. It's you know what? It's close to Chicken Devil fun. Not as loose as Chicken Devil. It's a little more serious, but it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Exact. But this one's what it's called Claws. And I thought
Oh,
in honor of the season, right? We're getting into the holidays here. I
is
thought
that Grant Morrison?
it's Grant Morrison and Dan Mora.
I've heard of this book. I have
It's
heard of
called
this book.
Claus, The Life and Times of Santa Claus. And there's a little bit of a redo, a retake on the Santa that you think you may know and love. Just to give you a quick look, Santa is not the happy, jolly guy that you may know. He is the dashing, handsome, white knight snowman.
Oh man, I remember seeing some other art. I think maybe later on, I could even be talking out of my ass here, but I think, and again, I could be wrong, but I think he makes him older too, and he has this beard, and he's freaking jacked, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
He is jacked. Frosty is involved as a good friend and guide. Yes, Frosty. Here's a quick.
What about Heat Miser?
Quick glimpse at Frosty there.
Oh shit! Frosty's looking saggy, Austin. Like he's legitimately looking like he's just fucking like almost Clayface.
He has had a rough life, man. This is not the Frosty that you know. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. These guys are. I mean,
so
look,
he went from being Frosty the Snowman to Frosty. Your face up.
Frosty the badass. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. Frosty the badass.
Yep. This is not your. Your frozen little snowman.
This is not Olaf.
No. It's pretty sick, man. It's
I'm gonna have
not
to pick that up. I've heard
it's
about
not
that book.
kiddish. There's demons and giant trees and evil wolves, and it's fun. And it's a fun. Yep. Caden said, "Ooh, Santa is hot," and yes, he is. Santa is good looking. I don't know who they based it off of, but they did well. It's at
Chris
least in these
Hemsworth.
opening pages here, right? Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth is the blueprint.
Damn right he is.
So yeah,
Oh,
that's I love I love little off crazy things like this and Chicken Devil. It's like a comic about Santa Claus who's like this badass fighter. Reminds me of that movie Fat Man. I haven't seen it, but I know like
dude. I bought Fat Man. Fat Man is freaking awesome. Okay, I know that's probably sacrilege right now, given Mel Gibson's track record, but holy damn, that movie was the shit. Okay, that movie ruled.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be. I'm looking forward to that's gonna be a Christmas watch for me this year because I haven't seen that. So
Recommend it. Recommend it. If I'm, yeah, I could kind of see that version of Claus being Fat Man. Definitely.
Yeah. So it's that I really am enjoying that Claus there. But what do you got next up on this one, Trevor? It's on. Well then.
Well, I own it, but still, that's good to know. I'm gonna pass that information around. Everyone, give Cade Reed a follow. He's the guy. He's got the information. Give him a follow because he clearly knows more about this shit than I do. At least as far as what's streaming where, but yeah.
Caden knows what's up. Caden knows what's up. We love Caden.
He's good people. He's good people.
Yes.
Most certainly. But my next poll, I actually have not. There are 3 books I have not read yet, and I guess I can get them out of the way right now. But that is The Gardener, the Fear State Secret File, and it showcases the character who kind of had a hand, I guess, maybe in Resurrection of Poison Ivy. Spoilers, because that totally kind of happens somewhere down the line. But I have not read that. I unfortunately haven't gotten to Nightwing or Robins, and I've been really kind of looking forward to Robins. But at the same time, I look at the writer and I'm like, oh, you did Rick Grayson. All right, I'll give it a shot.
Right.
He's using all the Robins, and that's a fun idea. So I'm cool. But yeah, Nightwing, Robins, and Gardner are still definitely on my to read list. And obviously, we were just gushing crazy about Tom Taylor at the very beginning of the show. I love Tom Taylor as a writer. I think he's absolutely fantastic in everything that he does. I don't think he's ever written a bad book, to be truthful, brutally honest. Deceased, Wolverine.
I'm starting Deceased. I got all the issues of Deceased. I'm going through Deceased.
Dude,
I'm very excited.
That book is going to make you go... Like, the emotional ups and downs are just going to destroy you. I'm telling you this right now, but you're going to feel some shit, and then you're going to be like, oh, you're good.
Yeah. You got me there. You got me.
I'm dead serious, dude. Deceased is it tops Blackest Night, no question about it, because Blackest Night is just a large anthological freaking like, wow, zombies. But this is zombies. I don't know if there's a real difference there, but
no, exactly. I think that's what everybody thought that Marvel, like you said, like that Marvel Zombies was gonna be comparable to DC's. I haven't started it. I flipped through the pages because that's just what I love to do whenever I am starting a new comic. I just flip through it, do a quick. Ooh, that looks.
Oh, Hair Signs art in that?
Yeah.
Give me it. Just make that a freaking movie, please,
dude. It looks fire.
How far are you into it?
I haven't, like I said, I haven't started it. I've literally just flipped through, gone through, and been like, yeah, this is my type of.
That book is nothing short of incredible. Like that whole run, like Deceased. What is it? Where art thou? Books, names, hard. Oh man. Oh, shit.
And that's a fun thing. That's a fun thing about reading comics and like.
Fuck are my DCs? Oh, right there. Okay. Dead Planet, Unkillables, and At World's End. Yeah.
Yep.
Those.
Yep.
I totally didn't have to look and find out. I'm good.
I was just saying like that's like the fun, like it's fun. It's like you read so much, you try and keep track of all the different authors and illustrators and pencilists and all these different things, and it's like it's easy. And all the different names and stuff, especially. That's why I'm kind of into the volume thing right now. Volumes is kind of like just give me those those first 6 or 7 issues back to back and that little run. And
I feel like if you're a fan of a specific writer enough, you'll follow them on a weekly, monthly, whatever basis whenever they put out single issues, right? But if you're kind of like so on other things, I feel like the graphic novel trade route, hands down, that's the route you should go down.
Yeah, and I think for me too, I enjoy the looks of graphic novels. I enjoy like the Dark Knight Returns hardcover. Love that look.
I wondered if that was a hardcover or not because I can't really see it here from my angle. But that's dope.
Hardcover, and it's just it's so nice. It's so nice. But yeah, did you have another one? Or?
It's you. I showed off the 3 I have not read yet, but we're kind of waxing poetic there about Tom Taylor again. But
yeah. Well, since you're doing one that you didn't read, I'll do one that I picked up. I'm really excited about. It's from Boom. Boom continues to just do really cool, different stuff. This is a big graphic novel, and it's written by David Fincher. The filmmaker, the guy that did Seven,
Zodiac,
Alien
3,
yeah,
which I kind of like.
Right, yeah. Poor David. That's how he started. But no, he did a graphic novel called
I had no idea.
The Black Dahlia.
Oh,
Based
okay.
on the very, I guess, famous, um, story, which I don't know too much about, which is why I got the graphic novel, and also because it's written by David Fincher. But yeah, I thought that looked really cool. I went through it, and the art is like very, like Superman-ish from the late '70s
Oh, okay.
and '80s. It's pretty cool. Like a lot of here, kind of a quick look at the art there.
Yep, I can see it to an extent. Yeah.
To an extent, yeah. It's very old. Obviously it's drawn this year. It was drawn this year and all that. But the style is very just reminiscent of those
David
superhero
Fincher
comics.
wrote that, right?
David Fincher and Matt. Well, that's helpful. There we go. David Fincher and Matt. Matt is his name. James Elroy, David Fincher, Matt, and Miles Hyman.
Oh, there you go. Okay. And we got a question here from Caden. What writer you recently started reading that you want to tackle a certain character, and what character is that? That's a good question.
Oh,
I would say Joshua Williamson, and only because I picked up Deathstroke Incorporated. That's arguably, I think, outside of some of the Batman stuff, that's probably the best book DC's doing, because that book is sauce.
right.
This just to kind of break down the second issue and without spoilers. Deathstroke, double-bladed lightsaber that is blue and orange, fight with Cyborg Superman in space with Black Canary and Toyman. Yep, that's all in issue number 2. And I would like, in space. And personally, I would like to see him maybe tackle, I would actually like to see him maybe do something with Ghost Rider.
Okay.
I feel like that'd be cool. I definitely also want to see Philip Kennedy Johnson write Batman. I'm very curious to see what he would do in Batman's world, especially after that Authority special.
There's a lot of Superman.
Yeah.
A lot of Superman. That'd be interesting.
It would be very interesting. What about you? Do you have a writer?
Obviously, I'm very basic when it comes to the writing because I'm not keeping up with anything too much new. I do really like. Here's John Ridley had a great run in Future State with Batman, and that kind of John Ridley is also a screenwriter and stuff. I would really love, and then it's kind of funny. He's now doing Black Panther over at Marvel, which I'm really excited for.
Did he take that over from Ta-Nehisi Coates?
I think so. That's going to be coming out in like December.
Okay.
His run for Black Panther.
Dude, his I Am Batman stuff is freaking awesome.
I love it. And I was thinking I would like to see John Ridley do something with Superman. Honestly, is what I was thinking. I like to see these guys. They're two opposite. Whenever I think that's the interesting thing. A writer that does Superman, I'd like to see them do Batman, and a writer that does Batman, I'd like to see Superman, because they're so opposite characters, but they're morally at the, I think at the center of those characters, they don't break, and they both trust in each other. I think a lot, unless it's a situation like Injustice or Black Label or things like that,
Yeah,
But
or in Marvel's case, maybe like an Elseworld or something like that.
Right. Their common ground is both of them are the best of the best. They morally they do not falter and stuff. And so you have that similarity, but obviously two very different backgrounds and ways and approaches to it. Batman's a little more harsh and stuff, and so I think that's always fun, is to see a writer of one of those characters tackle the other.
Agreed. Definitely. Like, I think a nice surprise for me was when, who was it? When Kyle Higgins did Nightwing.
Okay.
Way back in New 52.
Yes.
That was a nice surprise.
Yep.
Because because I've glanced at his Power Ranger stuff, and man, that dude just nails it. Power Rangers was a big part of my childhood, and now as an adult, I don't really look to it too much, but I look at the comics that he's done with that within that world. I'm just like, dude, you got it. You got it straight up. Those
did the thing. You did.
He did the thing for sure. He did the thing with Power
And
Rangers.
look what I got next up on my list. Oh gosh,
52. That's
52.
actually one book I have not read. How about that?
52, Volume 1. This is. Oh man, I'm so excited. It's issues 1 through 26 of the new 52.
Okay.
First one. So and that's Volume 1. I got Volume 2 and Volume 3 too. I don't know when I'm going to start that because that's like a
Big
lot.
Stacks.
Yeah, it stacks.
Big
So,
stacks.
but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Well, maybe we should probably get to some stuff we both might have read. Did you read Superman Son of Kal-El number 5?
I got to no, I didn't get to read it. But this was the big week. I do know that.
This
was the big
yes.
week.
We got Shree in the chat. What's up?
Shree, what's up, Shree? Always good to see Shree.
Hello. Always good to see you. So yeah, I did in fact read number 5, and I actually just got the cover A, so it's not the.
Yes.
So it's just the regular cover. It's not John and Truth. I think that's the character's name.
Yes.
Well, that's his alter ego, but I'm forgetting his real name right now. Darn it! But I like this book quite a bit in that every issue is a learning experience for Jonathan Kent. I even like in some of the panels he's actually got a mask on too, like a legitimate face mask when he's around people in public. I like that touch. But again, this book is a huge milestone for representation in the LGBTQ plus community, and I love that about it. And even like I've seen a couple of the variants. This one, I'm like, okay, it's cool. I would have much rather prefer the one with the two of them. Definitely.
Yeah. I agree. It's really cool. I'm all for it, and I think that the way again in Tom Taylor I trust. I think the way that Tom Taylor does things and approaches these characters, again, just like I said at the top of the show, right? Mm-hmm. He has an enthusiasm for Superman and for these characters, for certain characters that is just, man, I trust him. I trust him that nothing is forced or rushed or being pushed in, for any agenda. I think this is truly what Tom thinks is for the best. So
I don't disagree. I mean, when it comes to the character of Superman, whom for a long time was really kind of a tough nut to crack in terms of trying to propel the character forward, whereas you look at characters like Batman and Spider-Man, it seems like anytime a new writer comes and they just do something pretty gangbustery with that character, it sticks in their continuity. Whereas characters like Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, stuff like that, for it to be more on a, pop culturally, not even pop culture, but even more like, a comics general audience, to have stories be that impactful, to now have stories that are pretty gnarly to talk about regarding these characters, especially with Superman. A lot of people only really kind of, when they thought of Superman comics, it was largely either John Byrne's run, The Death of Superman, and even outside of that, probably some Justice League stuff. I'm sure. It wasn't really until Jurgens came back and brought Superman back with Lois and young Jonathan Kent, and positioning Superman finally out of this truth, justice, American way bubble from the 50s and into a modern day parent. And it's like, there we go.
Yeah, that's the other thing I love too, is I did enjoy the change of that, of what is it, truth, justice, in a better world.
Yes.
I don't see the issue. I feel like that should have always been kind of Superman's, thing, because it's not just, he's never always just stood for America. Yes, he's American and a patriot and all that stuff, but like, he saves the world, he saves the galaxy, he goes off to different planets and stuff. It's more than just America in that sense. Superman is a very global character, and so
Exactly. He has grown into such a global character, and I feel like that that mantra, though, truth, justice, America way, that was really one of the restraints that was really kind of holding the character back from really stepping out of that cube that people constantly throw him in. And he's just this super powerful being, and he's always self-righteous, he's always good, and it's like, no.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah.
Not necessarily, because when you turn him into a parent, now a lot of other bigger moral ambiguities come into play, because now he starts asking the question, well, what am I going to do to protect my child? What am I going to do to keep the world safe? Oh, crap, my son's just like me in almost every conceivable way. I have to teach, and he legitimately kind of holds his hand through the journey of being a super son into the next Superman. And now we have Superman, Son of Kal. Damn, this book is just so good. It's well written. The art is fantastic. The story within it is very relevant to today's things going on in today's world.
Yeah.
That's comics in a nutshell.
Exactly. That's what comics should be. It's funny. The comics has always reflected what's happening in the real world, through a fantasy lens. And so I agree. I love that, I never looked at that way, but I love that. I really love that, is that Clark's next step, his next progression is parenthood, and what they've done with that is very interesting, especially in Son of Kal-El. It's not, Superman is gone, he's off world, it's not that he's dead or anything, but the responsibility of being Superman now falls to John, at a very kind of quick time at his age. He's like 18. He's going through a lot, and it's like, I haven't read issue 5, but I have gotten through 1 through 3, and so I'm gonna probably by next week I'll have read issue 5.
Yeah, well, it's a good time too, because the book's monthly.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's always a plus. There's something about the villain Bendix that I'm just like, there's something interesting about your last name, bud, that I can't quite put my nose on.
I can.
And I find it funny. I just find it so funny. Like, it's so funny to me that, unfortunately, like, I love Brian Michael Bendis. I do. I think Ultimate Spider-Man is some of the best, hands down, some of the best modern comics around in the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
But holy damn, he went over to DC and things are just not the same. I'm so sorry. I do love Brian Michael Bendis' energy as a writer. I do, but it's just not the same kind of feeling when he does DC stuff. And then when I heard what he did with Jonathan Kent by putting him in the Legion and kind of aging him up, I'm like, oh, you did the thing from the Silver Age with Superman. Like, okay, that's cool.
I didn't mind I thought the age up was okay, and stuff.
I say it's okay now because of the book we have now, right? Like, if he didn't do it, then we wouldn't get Superman, Son of Kal-El, and this is actually a really fantastic story, all things considered.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. It's I don't know. I like because it wasn't. I think I'm just not a fan. I don't know why, because I'm not like that old. I'm only 20, 24 years old, so it's like. But I'm just not a fan of that age group. It's kind of like how I feel about the Tom Holland Spider-Man stuff. Not a fan of the high school movies. Enjoy college. So I don't know. Maybe that's it.
And there are Superman fans who prefer Superman to be a little bit more solo, a little bit more traditional. Totally fine.
Exactly.
When you start preaching and thumping that stuff like a Bible,
dude, it's all
and try and I mean that in the way of just trying to push your views onto other people wholeheartedly in a very aggressive way. Like, that's not.
Dude, everyone's got their own Superman. Everyone's got their own Batman. Everyone's got their own Spider-Man. Their own, it's all, that's the beauty of these comics, is they've been around for 40, 50 plus years. The stories, are endless, and they still are endless. And so I think that's, it's, we all have to just be open-minded and remember that there is other versions. They're all, and the fact is we just all love these characters. We all love comic books, and we can all find something to agree on, at some point with them. So
110%. And, even just kind of speaking again on Tom Taylor, man, this is just a Tom Taylor love fest.
it's the Tom, yeah. Tom Taylor watching this, please come on.
We love your stuff.
Yeah.
We love your books. And speaking of which, of loving his books, oh boy, Dark Ages #3.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So I know I don't like to compare and all that, but it's obviously the excitement when Dark Ages came out with Tom Taylor being announced and stuff was like, this is going to be Marvel's Deceased. I hear that it is, but it's kind of its own way, very much its own thing and stuff, but it's still pretty brutal and dark and just
yeah, that book. It's a 6-issue miniseries, and it's a miniseries in an alternate universe for a reason, because if anyone isn't caught up on the story, there's this giant creature, celestial being that operates purely on black holes, and it is essentially this unstoppable, unkillable giant creature. And like the way that they stop it in the first issue results in a like universal blackout, I think, something like that, like a world blackout for sure for that Marvel world. And essentially everyone in the in Marvel universe has to operate without like powered electricity. So it's Dark Ages. It's literally the Dark Ages. But you've also got characters like Apocalypse standing behind curtains, twiddling his fingers with a plan. And my God, this man has machinations. Oh.
He's got the plans, huh? Oh no!
Like,
take that. Apocalypse is the blueprint, ladies and gentlemen.
So the second issue ends with Iron Man being inducted into Apocalypse's secret hideout lair, where he's harnessing energy and having Magneto harness it like a magnet. And it's just, he's all gray. It's, oh my God. Like, this book is just bonkers Marvel in the best way possible. And the third issue, oh man, I don't even want to spoil how the third issue ends, but I just got one word: symbiote.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to read it.
Oh, dude.
I want to read it.
It's the fucking book. It's the book. It's the best Marvel book to put out right now. I'm sorry.
I like it a lot.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, dude. Again, Tom Taylor, follow the man wherever he goes. He'll bring me back to Marvel. Haven't read a Marvel book in years, and it was cool kind of reading because I did read some of this Amazing Spider-Man stuff.
Friendly Neighborhood. I think Tom Taylor did Friendly Neighborhood. I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
might have done Amazing.
This Amazing Spider-Man stuff came out around 2018, and so this was just when I was getting back into it. It's kind of like, I think 2018. No, Homecoming was coming out. Homecoming was coming out and stuff. And so I was trying to get back into comics and stuff. And I've always, as far as Marvel goes, Spider-Man's always been, that's like my number one. Love Spider-Man. So it's been nice to kind of read those comics and get back into that, because that's the world that I remember. It's very, very similar. Though that comic run is interestingly very similar to the Amazing Spider-Man movies. It's done, like I said, it's done after those movies, but it's kind of similar. Probably better. What those movies should have been.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a shorter show, guys, because Austin's got to take off here in a couple minutes. So without further ado, I guess we should probably wrap this up with a finale of sorts, because this is the last book in James Tynion's run on Batman, and it is Batman number 117, the finale to Fear State. And this cover, so this is a double cover, right? Like 116 has the other half. This book has, Scarecrow and Peacekeeper, Simon Saint. But overall,
Did
it's
you say
also
Peacekeeper?
Peacekeeper, not Peacemaker. Peacekeeper. He's a
Ah,
hired freaking guard for Simon Saint the Scarecrow. But this is
Okay.
also the book in which Harley and Ivy absolutely get back together.
Oh,
I'm all about
yeah.
that. I'm
Look.
all about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's finale. So what's it called? Fear State finale?
I don't know if it has a. Let me check and see. There should be a title because all the books have titles most of the time. Fear State finale. Wow. Okay, I stand corrected. It is just Fear State finale.
That ladies and gentlemen, Fear State finale is a definite pickup.
The stories,
If you're a fan of Harley and Poison Ivy, that's always good to see.
It's unfortunate because I see a lot of Batman, like Tynan's Batman books on our shelf, and I'm not saying that that's like an indication of anything. That very well could be over orders or things like that. But this is one of the books that we put in almost all the savers, and it's interesting because I look at that kind of metric, but then I also go online and I see people kind of talking about it in a not so positive way. So it's just very interesting to me to see two different kinds of opposing views about this book. I kind of feel like I fall into the line of I really like what James Tynion has done with Batman, even when he started with Detective way back when and Rebirth. But now that he's kind of been doing the Batman book, I think since 86. Yeah, 86. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm kind of bummed it's coming to an end. But at the same time, he had a good 86 to 117. That's 30 some issues, almost 40 issues, almost 40, maybe probably over 40 if you include like annuals and things like that. But overall, like I really did enjoy what he did. He kind of had to pick up from where Tom King left off, and Tom King notoriously killed Alfred. And I feel like the inclusion of Ghostmaker was never meant to be an Alfred replacement, but it definitely ended up becoming, not necessarily a placeholder, but a nice addition in wake of Alfred's, not his absence.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, we got Marcus Cruz here in the chat.
What's up, man? Marcus.
If the MCU is doing Secret Wars, would it mean they have to reboot the entire multiverse MCU universe from start if it ends?
Not necessarily. Man, I would hope so. That would be so great.
I don't know.
That would make me so happy because I don't want to see this go for another 20 years.
So I can't really answer that question completely because I have not read Secret Wars, and I feel like that's a lot of before required reading that you'd have to get to read that story. The only thing I really know about Secret Wars is that that's where Spider-Man gets the symbiote suit for the first time.
So I've read a little bit of Secret Wars. The idea is you could very well, because however, I don't think Marvel's going to. It kind of feels like Marvel's building towards Secret Wars. Secret Wars is literally like it's the wars of the timelines, different variants, different versions, all from across Marvel, from all the Marvel, universes and stuff like that. So the idea with I think Marvel, where they're headed, is their Secret Wars will establish not a rebooted MCU or restart it, but a new established main MCU timeline.
Okay.
That's my guess as to how that. I mean, again, I would love for them to end it, start all over. Now you already have the 616 universe that when you do multiverse stuff in the new one, you can draw from that. It's not too far behind. People are, so but they'll never do that. They're going to continue this thing for 30 years, and they're probably going to do it the way I said.
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I kind of feel like they're kind of building towards different things at this point. I mean, you've got, Contessa De Valentine or whatever her name is, Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, obnoxious Lady Nick Fury, as I like to refer to her as. She, she's building, kind of like a Thunderbolt-ish team. I don't know. Like you've got Baron Zemo, John Walker, Yelena Belova, Hawkeye comes out next week. So that'll be cool. We get to see a little bit more from there. But but you kind of get the feeling that, you know, there's some real world stuff happening with maybe one team, and then some cosmic shenanigans maybe potentially brewing after seeing the Eternals. I don't know how many of you guys have seen the Eternals.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. The MCU is kind of like a freeway in that you've got a couple different exits you could take, whichever one they decide. Oh wait, it's a freaking pack of cars, and they're all going at different exits.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they all have the Marvel logo.
Exactly.
But to kind of touch it back to Batman and Tynan, and even Jorge Jimenez, like I love Jorge Jimenez's art throughout the entirety of all of the stories that he's done, especially when he's the main artist on the book. Like in the finale, I feel like he does a lot of he does Batman without the wide eyes really well.
Okay. Yeah. Just the regular. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's even a piece at the end where like Bruce and Miracle Molly kind of have a moment about what people in Gotham City believe or not believe to grow past their fears. So all in all, I enjoyed it. I think it was a very fun finale for James Tynan's run on Batman. And I'm curious to see what Josh Williamson brings to the table.
Very cool.
So I don't know if you're going to get it in like trade form or if you have any interest whatsoever.
I probably will. Yeah, I'm going to get around to it. There's a lot of, like I said, there's the Dune stuff I'm finishing up too. That I've really liked. It's very much not necessarily a prequel because it does get into the actual books and stuff, but you get a lot of explanation that isn't given in the movie, but it feels like the movie, like the movie world and stuff. So it's kind of cool. It's really cool. But other than that, I want to start that new 52 volume, and there's some other books too that I'm looking at. So
I keep looking at the Blade Runner stuff because it's almost like one shelf has Blade Runner, the other shelf has Dune, and I'm like, well, shit, I love both these movies. Yeah, I should probably get the comics for them.
Blade Runner is next. That I want to get into that universe. They have an anime out right now too that I want to watch.
That's Black Lotus. Yep.
I love Blade Runner. I love those movies in that world. So yeah, I definitely want to read that.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay, everyone. Unfortunately, we got to kind of cut the show early. Austin's got to take off. He's already a little 10 minutes over late. But we do thank you guys for coming to the chat. Marcus, Caden, Shri, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate your guys' time. We'll try a little harder to promote it next week if we can, but we're very busy individuals.
Yeah.
That said, Austin, my friend, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me over right there at the Little Big City Network on the Twitter and YouTube and all of that. If not there, you can find me here on the Four Nerds Network. I'm here with Phil on the late night poll. I'm also on the Nicotina Show most of the time, or the Four Nerds, or as well as the Pop Culture Corner and Jiving with Jack. So definitely check those channels out. And yeah, you man, I know you got some podcasts and stuff. So
yeah, that's very interesting thing to bring up because I might have to take a bit of a hiatus. I'm not really sure yet, but if you guys want to follow along, obviously Unfiltered, you can also follow me, Unfiltered everywhere, Twitter, Vero, Instagram. And of course, you can listen to my podcast, Superhero Stress, a new episode of the Eternals review with myself, Chris Balga from Geek Ultimate Alliance and Marvel Alliance, as well as Lisa Sancello from I Love That Movie. We did Eternals review, should be out by the weekend. And then, of course, my friend Craig and I, who do the Eternal Night Batman-centric podcast. We haven't quite figured out what we're going to do next for our next episode. Thanksgiving's a tough time. The holidays are just really tough, like even for content creation, because obviously, we work, we have families, busy time just trying to get a bunch of stuff for our families. Like my nephew's birthday is on Tuesday, and I'm just like, oh, what do I get him? I don't know.
Right, exactly. Thanksgiving's on Thursday, and
it's nuts. But again, everybody, thank you for tuning in.
Give them some comics.
Comics for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Exactly.
This has been a Four Nerds production. As always, everybody, stay safe. Take it easy.
Peace.
Bye.